everyone, Dirk Lewis here with Team FowlFighters. A couple of the guys and myself, we drove up to Erie, Michigan today to meet up with George Lynch. We're here to pick up our new calls. You might be able to hear one in the background. I believe that's George on one of our calls. I'm sure hoping it is. We're going to get them back to Ohio and get them shipped out to everyone. So make sure you check out the site and order your Inferno call. It's the hottest call on the market. Let's go check out George and see what we got going on. You trying to create a crease at the...
No, what I'll do, I'm just taking out a crease. I'm just weakening, taking some material off. I want to weaken it right there. By weakening that right there, it's going to give me a little deeper, a little more snap. Just a little bit. Take that tip just a little bit. And then you want to put.
So you're bending the tip so it don't stick.
A little bit, and then I'm kind of doing something a little different. See that tip up, how much smoother I got to run it. What I did, I'm taking this tip, which is allowing to get some air under it, and I'm coming way back here, just putting a slight bent back down, so you don't have all this reed sitting up, and it gives you a, see, I got just enough of my air going, but it'll give you a fuller in your low end and easy,
okay,
where you're not. It still has a little bit of deep. That's money right there. You see what I did there? Just a little trick, and I'm just using the physics of that reed. You know, if I'd have just bent that down and took that air gap out, your reed had a tendency, when you go to do your harder notes, put more air to it, you got a tendency your air to float over the tip of that reed and stick it down. So what I did is I lifted just enough to create an air channel to shoot it down, and yet I came out here and tipped it back down so it hits that, the air hits that reed first, and it gives you a little fuller sound, a little deep, and okay. Just quick to react. So I'm going to let you play with both style reeds for yourself, the narrow or the wider one.
Okay.
And see which one you like.
So this one's tuned up with a narrow, correct?
Yep.
That's sweet.
Call with the wider reed. We're going to run this, kind of let you blow both and see which one you like. Like I said, this one might take just a little bit more air because you got more reed going down to the tone channel. But I like to shorten the reed and utilize that narrow reed, shorten it a little bit so I can still get my speed and depth, the low end.
So with that narrow reed, I'll still get a real deep goose, right?
Because it's going to allow more of that reed. Now you can lengthen that reed out. Problem is you lose your speed. I like to keep the speed. I had a lot of low end of a call I add from my voice. I would rather sacrifice some of the deep sound coming from the reed itself to gain the speed. I like the speed, I like the aggressiveness, I like to be able to do my quick spits, quick trains, right there just with a burst of air, and a short read allows me to be real aggressive. I can slow the call down. I can do a lot of the murmurs and the deep moans with a lot of utilizing my voice inflection.
Okay.
So the more that you train your voice and the more you train your throat, the more, because I break the call with my throat, the more I can utilize that. Actually, the more I can have one call kind of cover everything. Where a lot of guys, when they're first starting, we do make different calls for different things, but a lot of guys will like if they want to hunt, they're hunting big geese, they'll use a long call, and they want a bigger call, something they can get deeper on. You get guys when it comes hunting the migrators, and then we get the little short calls. You'll find that when more of the guys get profound and more efficient with a call, you basically see a lot of goose hunters will have one style call on their, on their lanyard.
They can use that for both. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you look at Sean Stahl, myself, Stahl has basically he blows a short call whether he's hunting big geese, little geese. We do everything in the same way with me. I love this. That's what I love about the Lawmaker. I'm a Reaper man, but I can get a lot of sounds of the Reaper on this right here and still get full goose. And that's the beauty of this new Lawmaker / Inferno call, which is, to me, it's the goose hunt. It's a goose hunter's dream call. If I had to choose and you were going to the field with one call, this style right here to me is the one call to do all.
So the Inferno, what you're telling me is the Inferno is a call that can be used for big, giant Canada geese or the migrators.
Or the migrators, absolutely. And that design, we spent a lot of time. I consider this design right here is the years of everything that we made, and the thoughts and the ideas put in one. And if you'll notice when you open up, you'll feel if you open that barrel, you'll see that isn't just a straight bore in that barrel. That opens up, and then there's a taper up in there. All that dimension has a meaning to it. And what it does is we allow just a little bit what we call an opening. Some people call it glodo, which is a little bit of opening around the tip of that gut, which allows the air to force around there. It gives you more pop into your call, allows a fuller low-end murmur on your call, where if you had just a straight bore, your air comes straight to that reed, and it's only presenting itself straight through the center, so you'll get a little bit higher pitch sound. You'll get a sharper cluck. Problem is when you run with that straight, what we found when you're trying to especially do a call that we want to do everything with it, when you run with that straight bore, when you start running fast and start hitting your repetitive clucks, they start overlapping and it overruns, and you don't have a clarity. You just get an overlapping cluck.
Yeah, it sounds like a solid cluck instead of a high, low, high.
It's going to be raspy, and there's probably nothing wrong, but it doesn't have. You don't have the distinct 2-3 different geese.
Sure.
On the call. What we found with just a little bit of opening, what it does, allows the air to come through there. It allows it to shut off between your clucks. It'll give you a little bit of clarity in between your clucks. Okay. Now we've gone with too much, which like we have our stage reaper, which is the contest call. That has a real glodo design to it, more air, which for me, it's harder for me to use in the field because I have a harder time getting my trains. It has a lot of air volume there, where someone who puts a lot of air behind it works good. This call it'll still give you the pop, but it has the ease of use, so when we're laying in a blind, it's very comfortable and very deadly.
So this could be a great beginner call then as well.
Beginner call. We got a kid right now in Iowa. He just this past weekend he won at Rogers Sporting Goods. He won the novice event first place. His name is Ryan Gray. Ryan's an awesome caller, and they had $750 first play in this huge trophy for the novice. And being so much money, they had a lot of. It was actually it was really loaded with some great callers because everybody was going. Normally, you get $1,000 with the open division. That's $1,000. Well, here's $750 for this novice. So they had all these guys. We're going to go on this novice because we're probably going to win this open, but we're going to go this novice. And Ryan took it. And 2 weekends before that, he won another calling contest with this Lawmaker call, the same style call right here. So what it was saying is, and then the guys who out there in Iowa who blown a lot of different other calls, they fell in love with, man, what else? So what I'm saying, it's working good in the field, it's working good in the stage.
That's great. Don't forget, get your Inferno. It's the hottest call on the market.